Hello, my name is Taylor Harper. I chose to do my signature project on the effects of an extended school day on a student's academic success. There are two pieces of data that pushed me to pursue this topic. The first being the release of our end-of-course assessment scores in the state. They were extremely low. I know one cause of that could possibly be COVID, but I wanted to further investigate that, as well as the Lexile level scores within our district. They were also suffering, so I wanted to investigate and take a look at those as well. This project has not been implemented as of yet, so all of the results are projected. As I was beginning to conduct research, I found that a major problem in this area was that students are not receiving significant enough instructional time in most schools that they're in around my area. Another thing was that as I was going through conducting research, I found that there was a lack of studies that found conclusive evidence as to whether or not extended school days that had been implemented were positive or negative. There was mixed results throughout all the data that I combed through. And also, the final thing was touching on the Lexile levels. As I was combing through those, there was a high percentage of learners that were in the beginning or developing learner categories, which was very concerning within our district and school. Data and research. The first piece of data that I want to look at is pertaining to our district. As you can see from the chart below, it is representing our end-of-course assessment scores. In 2020, right before COVID hit us, the scores were still a little concerning, but you had much more learners, a much higher percentage of learners in the developing category, versus where you shift to 2021 when we are in the mixed traditional and virtual model. There is a shift to much more students being in that beginner learning category, which is why I felt the need to pursue this area. The first piece of research that I would like to discuss came from Farbman and Kaplan, 2005. They state that modern-day students are expected to know and understand and retain much more than students in previous generations. This is an expectation even though students today spend the same amount of time in school as previous students. I found this piece of information insightful because it is very true. There's not been an extended school day at many schools. There's one or two, but it's not to the depths that you would think. That leads me to my second piece of research that I thought was credible to this topic was that from Blazer, 2010. He discusses that experts are in agreement that it is of the utmost importance that the quality of educational time is much more needed than the quantity of the way in which students learn. And I thought this was interesting because it kind of counteracts my point of this research of extending a school day. But I also believe that if we can extend the school day with that quality being a major piece of that they will hit both points. And the final piece of research on this slide, I wanted to bring Burke and Decker's information to your attention. They discuss that extended school year is provided to most students in most scenarios during the summer months, to whereas it can be provided in a multitude of settings that are best for the child. And extended school year can be provided to students in one or multiple settings or capacities depending on the child's needs. And that kind of pertains to where I will be going as far as let's implement the extended school day within the school year versus over those summer months. Yes, and the next piece goes on to background information. This first example I have on the screen discusses the Kaufman School that was located in Kansas City. They implemented a program where students received extended hours of instruction on the school day, and they had the first year they were open, they had 37.8 hours of instruction per week. And then in their second year, they shrank the instructional time to 36.5 hours per week because parents, students, and teachers all felt that it was tough to manage the 37.8 hours that were started with. And then once they compiled all the data over the 3 years that they had this implemented, it did show that students grew at least 1.25 years for every year they attended that Kaufman School in all 3 subjects that were tested through the Missouri Assessment Program. The next piece of research that I wanted to touch on was the personalized learning aspect. This was from Cohort 2021. She discusses that personalized learning is an approach that is used to structure educational direction to the needs of different individuals. She also suggests that personalized learning is viewed as a teamwork transaction between the teacher and the student rather than the individual education for a specific student. And personalized learning is used for a variety of teaching aspects, in my opinion, that strive to answer a variety of issues that may be presented from various learners within an entire classroom. This personalized learning approach can help to increase student willingness and participation and dedication, which proves to be helpful in moving towards higher academic performance. The reason to implement this feels like such a big need for me because it's going to assist in having more student interest and the willingness to participate, as I kind of already touched on, and hopefully all of these things together will help the student gain much more educational knowledge and a higher achievement on some of these test scores such as Lexile levels and end of course assessments. Going further into background information, I wanted to discuss some research that was specific to these personalized learning strategies that you can implement. Number one, I came across the use of technology. It seems that technology is a major key when implementing personalized learning, and I feel like with our district we have rolled out Chromebooks, and Chromebooks seem to be a really major and positive way to implement some personalized learning strategies through those Chromebooks. The next piece would be participation in cooperative learning activities. I found out that cooperative learning promotes students' abilities that consist of group processing, social interaction, individual accountability. It can be implemented in order to help students overcome social and emotional barriers while improving through that peer social engagement that helps them overcome some of those barriers they may have up. The final piece would be the flexible learning environment. Traditional learning environments can sometimes hinder the ability for students to be successful in the classroom, to whereas when you have that flexible learning environment, you have many more ways to assist students, and you've got more control in a variety of aspects such as workspace, seating, path, scheduling. All those different areas are where you can have the control with still having that flexibility for students to gain a higher, hopefully higher academic success. Action plan timeline. The purpose of this research proposal is to determine the extent to which an extended school day by 1 additional hour affects a student's achievement. The specific approach utilized for this quasi-experimental research proposal will be a randomized pre-test/post-test control group research design. In this type of design, individuals are selected to a control or intervention group and are then tested before treatment to determine prior state. Following the intervention being applied to the intervention group, both groups are retested in order to compare the change that occurred. Teachers or special education teachers will be selected through a volunteer process. Those who volunteered will be required to attend 2 training sessions on how we will implement certain personalized learning strategies during our extended school day. Volunteers will be given exact material to cover the duration of the study. The intervention period will take place over a 4-week time frame. During this time, the experimental group will receive personalized learning strategies Monday through Thursday for an extended hour at the conclusion of normal school days. The experimental group will be taken through personalized learning strategies pertaining to their grade level to improve student achievement. During this time, the control group will only be completing the normal school day and not partaking in the personalized learning strategies of an extended school day. All participants will be administered the Achieve 3000 level set pre and post test, which will give us a benchmark of all the data and numbers and show any change that happened from the extended school day. The sampling technique for this proposal is convenience and consists of 2 co-taught classrooms containing general education and special education 11th grade students. They were randomly assigned to the experimental and control group. The population for this research is 243 11th grade students from 2 classes at a local high school. For this study, 2 classes from the 11th grade were randomly selected and 30 total students were able to participate in the study. Participants are ranging from anywhere from 16 to 18 years old. And lastly, Achieve 3000 is a tool that delivers a variety of digital methods that can assist in increasing and growing learning in literacy, math, science, and social studies. Achieve 3000 level set, which is what we'll be using for the pre and post test, is validated and has been utilized in a variety of studies across different fields and areas. Achieve 3000 level set is proven convincingly in its reliability in different forms such as internal consistency, test retest, and alternate form, which is good because we will be using test retest in this study. Ethics. The confidentiality of participants was assured in several ways. Each participant was assigned a number ranging from 1 to 30. The ID was matched with the participant's name in the researcher's records only. Any person reviewing the participant data had access only to the ID number. All data will be stored in the researcher's home office in a secure location and will be disposed of no sooner than 3 years following this study. Expected results. I hope that the findings will show that there are benefits to students involved in the experimental group of this research. I also expect that there will be an increase in academic achievement for each student's Lexile score that is involved within the experimental group. I hope that moving forward, this research will hopefully increase the use of personalized learning strategies as it pertains to a normal and extended school day so that we can assist students achieve their highest level. And I also hope that the results of this research will give us information that will assist in future instructional decisions pertaining to strategies used within the classroom. Recommendations and changes. First and foremost, I would like to expand this research to include other grade levels to try to get a wider range and see how it affects different age groups. And then lastly, I would like to obviously extend my 4-week time frame. I think that may, since I haven't implemented yet, I think that could be a cause for concern, and hopefully extend it over an entire 9 weeks or even a semester if possible. Thank you for hearing my thoughts on this research proposal. Have a good day.